Hey, Mike Ely here with BidPoint, and I'm excited to have you watch this short video. Now, this video is going to be how the commercial customer process works. I think that if you see how simple our process is, you're going to be very excited and encouraged that you can go out there and build a nice book of business and get earn a nice residual income off of the business usage or off of the energy usage of businesses in your community. So let me go ahead and just jump right into this. Now, first off, I'd like to throw a disclaimer out there that these are commission examples are only for training purposes. Your actual commissions will vary, obviously, based on the effort and time that you put forth. There are no guarantees of income, and I am not implying that you're going to make the money that I show in the first few examples. But I think it's important that you see what the potential is and kind of how you can approximate what your earning potential is out in the market. All right, so as an example, for every million kilowatts, and this is we're going to use just the electricity as an example. For every million kilowatts, you're going to be looking at getting or earning approximately $1,250 on the usage for that. So if it's a million kilowatts annually, that would be $1,250 annually. If it's a million kilowatts monthly, $1,250 monthly. You get the example, right? For references, you may want to write this down. These are some of the averages of usages of energy usage of facilities that happen to be out there, such as insurance offices, small gas stations, mom and pop restaurants, car dealerships, apartments, schools, distribution centers, villages, large churches, egg farm, hospitality, refinery. I've seen all of these with my own eyes. Okay, so they're very good. If I was to give you point out a few, you can see the potential we have here. As an example with the school, with being using maybe 2 million kilowatts annually, that would be a residual income of $2,500 annually for the life of that customer to you, the agent that submitted that deal. Another example is, let's say, this large church, 7,400 million kilowatts, or 7.4 million kilowatts. That's a pretty large, large church, one of the bigger, mega churches that pay out approximately $9,100 annually to the agent referred that deal. And we've seen hospitals submitted and closed, which is pretty amazing that these pay out this kind of income. But it's there. You may have a relationship with somebody that can get your foot in the door to get these kind of deals. But 40 million kilowatts actually would pay out approximately $50,000 annually to the agent referred the deal. Okay, and the reason I send out or put out approximately is, like we have said, we pay out based on how the suppliers pay us. In some instances, they'll pay us more what they call mill usage, or less, depending on that. And you could be at a 50% commission example or a 60%, depending on that. So it's going to have a little variation and fluctuation there. So that's just an example to show you what's there. So let's talk about the process, and we're going to wind this up pretty quick. Okay, process is very simple. Step one is we use this 8-second question, is what we call it, to get your foot in the door on, usually, in most cases, most people that are doing this, BidPoint and, teamed up with Avion, is that they already have existing relationships, and they can usually get their foot in the door to ask this simple question. I don't know if I could help you or not, but if you give me a copy of last month's utility bills, I can have them analyzed for free to see if you're being overcharged. It's really that simple, and that allows you to break the ice, get the business to start thinking about free or being overcharged and so on. And in most cases, if you have enough rapport with them, or you've got a good enough relationship, they'll say yes. Now, when they say yes, the step two process comes into play. All you have to do at that point is gather a little bit of information. Now, these on this side right here, we usually ask you to get about 3 months worth of billing, back bills, that kind of thing, to give a fair assessment of what their annual usage would be. And then they have typically, in most cases, we're going to need a letter of authorization. Basically, a letter of authorization just allows you to not go find this bill in the trash, that somebody threw in a dumpster and submit it. We have to make sure that there's appropriate paperwork that goes with it. In almost every case, if a business says yes, I'll let you do that, they understand, they're business owners, that there's probably some type of small paperwork involved. Okay, so that's really what you have to do on step two. Step three is very simple. You submit the request for pricing. Now, understand all these forms, the request for pricing, letter of authorization, and so on, are in your BidPoint back office under documents. But the request for pricing is basically, this is how you get paid. This is how we track that you're the person that submitted this and the account and who's attached to this. Okay, so it's real important that you have this attached so we can make sure that we give you credit for that. Okay, so then you submit the pricing. And then step 4 is where the real-time bidding happens. Now we Avion Energy, who we're partnered with BidPoint, we always say BidPoint powered by Avion Energy, has relationships and contracts, specific real big contracts with all of the top energy suppliers in the United States. Over 70 plus, that goes up, goes down depending on if some of these suppliers are, stay in business or not, but we're usually adding them on a regular basis. But what happens is the real-time bidding goes through our proprietary patent pending portal. It's basically a real-time. It's a digital portal that basically they submit the data in there, and then those bids go out to all of the available suppliers that want to bid in those marketplaces, depending on the states or cities that they happen to be in. Now, this is just an example sheet right here that you can actually that a customer would then get. You can take this to the customer, or we'll send this to the customer. Usually it happens simultaneously. And what happens here is on here, and this is because this is generic, it's not going to say energy provider. It will actually show them every energy provider by name that is chosen to bid against this or bid for this account. And then what will happen is we have put together where they'll highlight it. Now, it might not be energy provider 1 might be the best deal for a 12-month deal, but energy provider 10, could potentially have the best 36-month deal. And we work with the customer to make sure that they understand, what's a better deal for them, 12 months, 24, 36, and so on, to make sure that they get the best price that they're looking for. So if you see, this is a very simple process, a couple steps. Get your foot in the door to get ask the question, get a few documents that you need to make sure that you submit it, and then the bidding happens, and then we follow up with this. And this is a real-time process, which is really nice, so we can get you that done, or get that information submitted and help you get this process going. So hopefully that helps you just kind of understand the simplicity of this. Appreciate your time on here, and obviously if you've got any questions, make sure you hook up on our Facebook page. Feel free to inbox us on there, or get on our blog page at bidpoint.co, and you can get a lot of great information and videos there as well. So thanks again. See you at the top.